This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Okay, so firstly, big up to Boxing Beats and Rhymes for his recent video. Put it out very, very well. And it kind of jogged my memory a little bit because a few days ago, I did a video on Zolani Tete failing a PED test. At that time, there was an article saying that Zolani Tete, he failed the test there or thereabouts July the 2nd, which is when he fought and stopped Jason Cunningham in round number 4, where Jason Cunningham needed medical attention after that fight. So we were under the impression, again, one article says that he failed immediately after the fight. But now there's other articles saying how he failed in the lead up to the Jason Cunningham fight. What's interesting about this is that not one question has come from IFL TV to anybody. They interviewed Eddie Hearn yesterday, not one question to him about Zolani Tete. TalkSport haven't done hours upon hours and flipping tables and crying outrage over Zolani Tete like they did with Conor Benn. IFL asking every man and his dog about Conor Benn, but not one question about Zolani Tete. Not one. Why is that? Why is that? Now, understand, could be a totally different circumstance here, because if he did fail after the fight, okay, that's not a case of Queensberry, Frank Warren, Zolani Tete's team and Jason Cunningham's team all knew about it and put the fight on anyway. But if this other article is correct, where he failed in the lead up to this, and therefore protocol with the British Box Border Control and UCAD, where they would have informed Zolani Tete, they would have informed Frank Warren and Queensberry, did they allow the fight to go ahead? So which article is correct? The point is we don't know because no questions have been asked. Why is there radio silence on it? Why? Steffi Bull, Jason Cunningham's manager, says that they've asked a question and they're getting radio silence. They're not getting any answers. Where apparently with UCAD, any adverse findings or whatever it may be, UCAD is kept under the radar. It's not put out in the public until the case is resolved. So the B sample and all that kind of good stuff. Well, that's interesting because he fought Jason Cunningham on July 2nd. So whether he failed on that day after the fight or before it, we've only just found out about it recently, over the last few days. All that time, nobody knew about it. Why? Because UCAD and British Box Border Control say it's not going to be put out in the public until the case is resolved. Well, where was that same energy when Dillian Whyte had an adverse finding for the Oscar Rivas fight? The press found out about it, right? So according to Eddie Hearn, when Conor Benn failed his test with VADA, it was the British Box Border Control who contacted the press. Not all the press, but one paper in particular. For what reason? Well, all we can do is speculate, right? There's some greasy palms going on. I don't know. But you have that energy because it was Conor Benn and a Matchroom fighter to inform the press, if Eddie Hearn is correct, of course. But with Zolani Tete, a Queensberry fighter, what, you say nothing? I understand Conor Benn was VADA, Tete was UCAD. But there's still a morality thing here, right? There has to be. To go back onto it, with Dillian Whyte, well, how did the press find out? Because that was a UCAD test, right? Thankfully, luckily, Dillian proved that the B sample was clean, which proved that the A sample was contaminated. You don't have to take my word for it. Go check the UCAD and British Box Border Control statement on it. But yeah, oh no. People don't want to see that. People want to create conspiracies. Why? Because Dillian Whyte is a Matchroom fighter. Yes? So, if Eddie Hearn is correct that the British Box Border Control informed the press about Conor Benn, did they inform the press about Dillian Whyte as well? Did they? Questions have to be asked. It wasn't the chairman at that time, Charlie Giles for the British Box Border Control, also on the panel, the committee for the WBC, where WBC wanted Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder to go ahead with not only their rematch part 2, but part 3 as well. Dillian Whyte beating Oscar Rivas meant that he got in the way of that one. Seemed very suspicious, doesn't it? Not accusing, asking the question. Where Charlie Giles petitioned for Tyson Fury to replace Dillian Whyte while he was under investigation as the mandatory. Very suspicious. Very suspicious. Go back on the point with Zolani and Tete. Why is it IFL, TalkSport, and everybody else who's out there talking to Eddie Hearn, talking to Ben Shalom, talking with Frank Warren, talking with everybody, doing your podcasts, nobody's mentioned not one word about Zolani and Tete. Not one. Not one. Why? Is it because Zolani and Tete is not a big name like a Conor Benn? Is it because he's not a matchroom fighter? Is that what it is? It shouldn't be about profile. Oh, we understand. Because you're going to get more views if you talk about Conor Benn than what you are with Zolani and Tete. Why talk about Zolani and Tete? People ain't interested in Zolani and Tete. Most people don't even know who he is. It's not worth our time. What we'll do is, we'll keep on talking about Conor Benn. That's what we'll do. Double standards. TalkSport. Where's your video? Simon Jordan. Adam Cattrall. Gareth A. Davis. Jim White. Anybody on there? Why are you not mentioning about Zolani and Tete? Why? Why is this? If it's because he failed a test after Jason Cunningham, and that's a fact, okay, cool, I understand. But what if the other article is correct? And he failed before the fight, and people knew about it. The fact is, you haven't asked the questions, have you? IFL TV, you haven't asked the questions to every man and his fucking dog every time that you interview somebody who's got nothing to do with Conor Benn. You're asking them about Conor Benn, but you're not asking them about Zolani and Tete, are you? Double standards. Double standards. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.